Hi, first graders. Today we are going to be looking at lesson 1-5. We are going to be solving problems by comparing. So let's go ahead and look at our book together. Share my space with you. So again, that's lesson 1-5. And if you look at the bottom of my page, that's page 33. On that page, I see Jada, and she has her workspace here. I'm going to go ahead and read the story that she's sharing. It says, Lori sees 5 red cars and 3 blue cars. Did she see more red cars or blue cars? How many more? How can you tell? Okay, so the first thing I want to do is identify my important information. So part of it is that Lori sees 5 red cars, I'm going to underline that, and 3 blue cars. Okay, to represent that, I'm going to go ahead and use my cubes. So it says 5 red cars. I'm going to go ahead and put out 5 here. And then it says 3 blue cars. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put 1, 2. Oops, let me see one. Grab my materials from my math toolkit here. And 3. There we go. And then I'm going to look at the questions that it's asking me. So there's several here. The first one is, did she see more red or blue cars? Okay, more red or blue cars. Okay, well, when I lay them out this way, I can visually see that she has more red cars, right? Because that has a greater number. All right, so my first question is answered. She has more red cars. The next question asks, how many more? How many more? So I know that she has more red cars, but when I want to find out how many more, I can do that by comparing the red to the blue. So I see these match up when I compare, and then these match up, and then these still match up. But when I get to these 2 last ones, I don't have any blue cars to match them up to. So I have 2 more red cars than I do blue cars. See that? Okay. And then my last question is, how can you tell? Okay. Well, I used this visual to help to show how I could tell. And I did that by comparing the reds to the blues. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take these to the side, and I would like you to draw out the 5 red squares to represent those red cars. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my crayons here just to kind of make it a little easier for my brain to read and color code those. So I have, this is red. Notice I'm not taking a lot of time to color in, all the space. I just want to show that these are my red cars. Now, if you are working on this part in your book, which I hope you are, and you need a little bit more time to draw those out, go ahead and pause the video right now and finish up 5 red cars. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw my 3 blue cars right underneath, because I'm going to be comparing the red and the blue. Here's my blue crayon. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color in 1, 2, and 3. Again, it's not perfect. It's just kind of helped me get a visual on which cars are red and which cars are blue. Okay. The last thing that I want to do here is I want to go ahead and show with an equation how I compared these 2 numbers. Okay, so this is the model or the picture representation, but I also want to show it in an equation form. So when I compare two numbers with an equation, I'm subtracting, okay? And whenever we subtract, we always have to start with the larger amount or the larger number. So in this case, the larger amount is 5. So I'm going to start out, and I would like you to write this also. I'm going to write 5, okay? I'm comparing, and whenever I compare, I'm subtracting. So I'm going to put minus 5 minus, and I'm going to write the number that I'm comparing it to, which in this case is 3. So 5 minus 3, and then I'm going to go ahead and solve. And for this one, I can use my fingers, right? 5, take away 1, 2, 2, and 3 leaves me with 2. Okay, so 5 minus 3 equals 2. So when they ask how many more, I'm showing it here visually, and I'm also writing it here in my equation. Okay, all right. If you need more time on either the picture or the equation, go ahead and pause the video now. And now we are going to turn to page 34. Here's page 34. And on this page, we have Jackson, and he has another story to share. So let me go ahead and read that. 5 cats have blue hats. 2 cats have orange hats. How many more blue hats are there than orange hats? Okay, so here's the picture. And notice, like I said, guys, these cats are not subitized, are they? Their hats aren't subitized either. So when they are not put in groups where our brains can read them really fast, it gets a little confusing, right? So let's look over here, and they kind of break it down a little bit better for us. It's more organized. You can use cubes to compare. All right, so they represent the blue hats with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cubes. It says over here, 5 cats have blue hats. And then they represent the orange hats with 1, 2 cubes. It also tells us that 2 cats have orange hats, right? All right, that's much easier for our brains to read when it's organized that way. Finally, now that they've done the picture representation, they're going to do an equation representation, just like we did on the first page. And so the equation for this picture is 5, because I had 5 blue hats. Take away, remember when I compare numbers, I'm taking away. So 5 take away, right? How many orange hats were there? 2 orange hats. So 2 equals 3. Okay, and I can check that on my fingers. I have 5 and I take away 1, 2, I'm left with 3. Okay, and then Jackson kind of summarizes, there are 3 more blue hats than orange hats. Okay, all right guys, we're going to get some more practice on comparing numbers now with our guided practice. It says use cubes to write a subtraction equation. Then write how many more. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at number 1. Peggy draws 6 frogs. Mike draws 3 frogs. How many more frogs does Peggy draw than Mike? Okay, it's asking how many more, right? We're comparing those frogs. So Peggy draws 6, my important information. Mike draws 3. And then I'm being asked how many more does Peggy draw than Mike? Circle my question. Okay. All right. Well, we start with a picture representation. And here's the ones that Peggy draws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She draws yellow frogs. Super fun. Mike draws 3 frogs, and here they are. 1, 2, 3. So when I do my picture representation and compare them, I see these frogs match up, these ones match up, and these two match up, right? But I have these frogs that don't match up with any. 1, 2, 3 that don't match up with any. All right. So when it asks how many more frogs does Peggy draw, she draws 3 more. I can see that here in my picture. Another way to show that is with an equation, right? So I know that Peggy had 6, so I'm writing 6. I know that when I compare numbers, I have to take away, so they have a minus here. And I know that Mike drew 3, so I'm subtracting 3 from that 6. Again, if it's 10 or less, I can use my fingers. So I have 6, right? And I'm taking away 1, 2, and 3. So how many are left? 3, that's right. So Peggy drew 3 more frogs than Mike. All right, great job, guys. Let's go ahead then and look at what's happening in your independent practice. So there's a couple of things you're being asked to do. You're being asked to draw cubes to show the subtraction, then write an equation to match the story, and tell how many. Okay, so we need to draw cubes, we need to write an equation, and then finally, we need to tell how many. Okay? All right, so let's look at number 2 together. It says, Sue had 3 dogs. Julio has 1 dog. How many more dogs does Sue have? All right, they're asking us to compare and see how many more Sue has. So I see Sue has 3. I see Julio has 1. There's my important information. And my question, how many more does Sue have? We're comparing. All right. Well, that was nice. They already drew Sue's dogs, 1, 2, 3. So we just need to draw Julio's dogs, and he has 1. All right. Now, boys and girls, your picture does not have to be very elaborate or perfect by any means. I'm just going to draw the dog's head. I'm not going to draw the whole dog. Okay, there's his there's his nose, here's his collar, here's his ear. Gosh, I'm not a great artist, guys, especially when I'm drawing upside down, but use your best imagination, and this is my dog, okay? So there's Julio's dog, and if I compare them and match them up, I see these match, but these two do not have any to match with, right? All right, so my picture representation is complete. I see that Sue has 2 more dogs than Julio. Now I'm going to write it in an equation. So again, I'm comparing numbers, so I know I'm going to be subtracting or taking away, right? When I subtract, I always have to start with the bigger amount or the bigger number. So in this case, it's 3. So I'm going to write 3, take away, how many did Julio have? That's right, he had 1. 3 take away 1 equals, and if you don't have that memorized in your long-term memory, you can use your fingers. 3 take away 1 leaves us with 2. That's right. So I'm going to write 2 here. Okay, so 2 more dogs is the amount that Sue has. All right. Okay, boys and girls, you today are going to work on number 3 on your own. Okay. And then I would also like you to, let's go ahead and, I don't want to get to that part later. Let's go ahead and look at number 4 for the higher order thinking. We're going to do one example together, and then you're going to do number 6 or 5 on your own. So the directions are, how many more blue birds than yellow birds use the picture to find the missing number for each problem. Okay, so how many more blue than yellow? And they're asking us to compare, right? So I can see in my picture representation here, I can compare and match these up, and these up. But look, I don't have any left to compare this last one to, right? So I know that I have one more blue bird than I do yellow birds. All right, let's look here down at the equation. They've already filled in a lot of the equation for us, haven't they? That's right, so we just need to fill in the first part. And we know that whenever we subtract, we always start with the bigger amount or the bigger number. So in this case, the bigger amount is the bluebirds, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's go ahead and make sure that that equation is true and makes sense, right? 4 take away 3. If I have 4 and I take away 1, 2, 3, I'm left with 1. That's right. 4 take away 3 equals 1. Yep, everything works out. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing here with number 5. All right, so today you'll be responsible for number 3 and number 5. If you would like a challenge, you can go ahead and get more practice on the back with some word problems. Okay, that's always available. And then if you would like a little bit of review, you can do numbers 1 and 2 on the homework practice page. Okay, other than that, I'm going to go ahead and give you time now to do numbers 3 and 5 on your own independently, and make sure to have a grown-up at home check it when you're done, and I'll see you guys soon. Okay, all right, bye.